So now that we've covered all of the sound engines and kind of a little bit about what they do, there's also an effects section right here. So let's just go ahead and go to this patch right here. So what I've got on this patch is just an electric piano. It's the ePiano 1, model number 3. And over here on the effects section, you'll notice that I've got a tremolo a little bit, and then I have a little bit of a chorus, and there's a little bit of, the delay is actually for the synth, which I don't have on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off. So what's really cool about this is you'll notice that there's a little bit of tremolo there. And it's assigned to the piano, so that's important to note because you can actually assign this same effect and you could assign it to the organ by just clicking on and off until it gets to where the organ is. You have to double tap it, you turn it off and turn it on quickly and it'll go to the next one. But I want it to be on the piano, and so that's, you hear the tremolo, you can actually affect it, so you can make the tempo go really fast and you can make the amount be a lot. You hear that difference? You can dial in. Okay. One of the other things I will say, in all my output settings, what I really like to do is I turn on the compressor. Just really fattens up the sound, makes it really kind of cut through a lot. And you'll notice it'll kind of cut off the sound a little bit if you hit it too hard, and that's just the compressor working. So for the ePiano, you probably don't want it that far. You probably want it about 3 or 4, and it will sound really nice. So just some of the fun stuff you can do with the effects engine there. There's also, I'll go to this mode right here. You can do some reverb. So like this is just a piano without reverb, with reverb. Just have that on room. You can change it to stage. It's a lot bigger. So I like room 1 or 2. It kind of keeps it under control. It adds a lot of good depth to it. Again, with, without. It's kind of subtle, but it gives it just a little bit more smoothness to the sound in your transitions. So this center section here is kind of like the brains and the computer of the Nord. You'll notice that there's different layers here. There's something called a live mode, and there's a very dangerous little button on here. It's this red button. Now this is the store button, or store as. Again, if you just hit it once, it's store because that's the top thing. If you hold shift and do store as, that's how you can change the name. So I will say something really quickly about the banks in here. You have 4 banks of sounds. Technically you only have 3 banks of sounds that come stock with the Nord. A, B, and C are all 3 different banks of sounds that have different sounds in all 3 of those banks. Bank D is actually a copy of Bank A. So when you actually get your Nord, you can unlock the memory. When you get it, it's all locked, and you have to actually manually unlock it so you can make changes. It would be my suggestion that you don't copy over in any of layer A, B, or C. That way you can kind of see all the preset sounds that the engineers over at Nord have made. And what I like to do is I go in there, find a sound I like, and manipulate it, and then save it to Bank D or live. Live mode is right here, and to activate live mode, you have to click live mode, and there's 5 different banks. It's kind of like your live banks are kind of customs. There's 5 extra slots essentially that Nord gives you to store to, which is pretty cool. Right here's your layers, so you can actually choose layer A or layer B. They say slots. I think of them as layers instead of a slot, because you can actually use them simultaneously. or you can use them independently.
Hey, thanks so much for watching to the very end of the video. If there was something in this video that we didn't cover that you would love to know more about, let us know down in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to us, like this video, so you can see more content that is like this.